Hello sunshines, this is Miss Sunny in front of you, and for today we're going to discuss a new topic which is called hypothesis testing. Yes, well, some of you are familiar with it and some of you are not. So I hope for those who are not familiar with it will listen attentively, and I hope everyone will participate in today's discussion. So what is hypothesis testing? Hypothesis testing is a form of statistical inference that uses data from a sample to draw conclusions about a population parameter or a population probability distribution. Statistical hypothesis test is a method used to decide whether the data at hand sufficiently support a particular hypothesis. The purpose of hypothesis testing is to test whether the null hypothesis, there is no difference nor effect, can be rejected or approved. So if the null hypothesis is rejected, then the research hypothesis can be accepted. But if the null hypothesis is accepted, then the research hypothesis is rejected.
Hello everyone, so today we are going to be talking about the 6 steps in hypothesis testing. Step 1. Statement of the problem. This is used in research as a claim that outlines the problem addressed by a study. Step 2. State the hypothesis. State both the null and alternative hypothesis in words. So the null hypothesis is that the two possibilities are the same. The null hypothesis is the observed difference is due to chance alone using statistical tests. The alternative hypothesis is one of the proposed proposition in the hypothesis test. So, step 3. Test the statistics. Identify the appropriate test statistic and category of the alternative hypotheses. Step 4. Findings. P-value versus alpha level. Step 5. Decision. Whether to accept or reject the null hypothesis. And for the last step is step 6. Interpretation. State the conclusion and implication of the study. So that's all the steps in hypothesis testing. Thank you.
Hello. Now we will move forward in answering this sample scenario that we have prepared. We will be applying the 6 steps in hypothesis testing that have been mentioned. Don't worry about it, guys. This sample scenario is very easy. I know you can do it. Now this is for our sample scenario. 4 brands of flashlight batteries. 4 brands of flashlight batteries are to be compared by testing each brand in 5 flashlights. 20 flashlights are randomly selected and divided randomly into 4 groups of 5 flashlights each. Each group of 5 flashlights use different brand of battery. The lifetime of the batteries to the nearest hours are as follows. For brand A, 42, 30, 39, 28, 29. And for brand B, 28, 36, 31, 32, and 27. For brand C, 24, 36, 28, 28, and 33. Lastly, brand D, 20, 32, 28, 38, and 25. And now we will now be answering for step 1. And now we will be answering for step 1.
For step 1, the statement of the problem is there a significant difference among various brands of batteries.
Our first resource person provided you a guidance on the first step to creating a hypothesis. She was able to share well how the statement of the problem could be first basis to create a hypothesis. With that, I am sure we are all ready for step 2, and I am happy to guide you on that process. This time, we will be formulating our null and alternative hypothesis. For null hypothesis, there is no significant difference among various brands of batteries, while for alternative hypothesis, there is a significant difference among various brands of batteries. You can formulate null hypothesis and its alternate hypothesis based on the goal of your experiment and the problem you are going to solve.
Okay everyone, step 3 is on-way ANOVA F-test. So ANOVA uses the F-test to determine whether the variability between group means is larger than the variability of the observation within the groups. So if the ratio is sufficiently large, you can conclude that not all the means are equal.
And here I am back to show you guys how to use Microsoft Excel in getting the p-value. So first is to open your Microsoft Excel, and after is to input all of the data including their labels. Brands A, B, C, D, and their data. After inputting all of your data, you have to click the Data tab and click Data Analysis. For data analysis, you have to click ANOVA Single Factor and click OK. Now after choosing your analysis tool, for the input range, you have to highlight brand A to the last data, which is 25 of brand D. You have to highlight everything. And now we will choose on how our datas are grouped. Since our datas are grouped by columns, you have to choose columns instead of rows. And since we include the labels, for the input range, you have to click these labels. You have to click labels in first row. And now for the alpha level, it is usually 0.05. And for the output options, you have to click output range, wherein all you have to do is to click any region in the sheet so that your result will be shown. Now click OK, and then your results will be shown just like what is shown in the video. And for our step 4 findings, since the p-value 0.5 is greater than our alpha level, which is the 0.05, now for our step 6, our decision, it would be failed to reject the null hypothesis, since our p-value is greater than our alpha level.
Step 6. There's a slight difference between the 20 flashlights and the 4 brands of battery. This means that each brand of battery has a different lifespan to every brand of flashlights, given the 20 examples.
And that would be all for hypothesis testing by District 8. Thank you.